Well, joining us now to discuss this further is Matabata Mokonyama, DG Department of Transport. Good afternoon to you, DG. Thank you for joining us here on ANN7 this afternoon. Could you give us the latest details? What's the current status of the strike?
Good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon to the viewers of ANN7. Like it has been indicated, what we are receiving and the reports we are receiving now is that the Santaco and the people that they were complaining about, which is SA Taxi, have reached an agreement, and as a result, the blockages and the blockades are being removed, and the taxi people others are going to Emperors to hear the message from the leadership, and then others are going back to work. And hopefully within the next hour or two, everything will be back to normal.
DG, this is not the first time that the taxis are speaking out against this issue. Why do things need to get to this point before action is taken and before discussion commences?
You should remember that in the recent past, there has been a similar march in and around eThekwini. That was because of the high prices of vehicles by manufacturers of vehicles. Today's demonstration is about financing institutions and financiers who are charging them exorbitant interest rates. All of these two marches, both of these two marches have got very little to do with the government. It is the arrangement that they have with the financiers and in terms of them accessing finance. Where we come in as government is where, of course, then other people are impeded in terms of accessing the roads by blockages. We had been receiving information that Santaco had permission to march to the offices of SA Taxi, but instead they then resorted to blocking the roads, which we condemn in the strongest terms, and we have been talking to them from 2 a.m. this morning. The minister has been talking to the leadership of Santaco. I spoke to them, and hence the resolution that we are talking about. But the other response to your question, we have summoned both Santaco and the financiers to a meeting with the minister to try, one, find out why are the taxi people in particular alleging that they are being charged high interest rates, but also what is it that the financiers can do to ease up this painful experience by the taxi operators, as alleged.
A very painful experience this morning for a lot of Gauteng motor users, DG, with regards to the point that you've raised, and that's the access to road infrastructure. A lot of motorists were voicing their concerns that they didn't see enough police presence and protection for motorists on the roads this morning during this strike. Can you just give us details as to why, in some instances, motorists feel as if they weren't protected enough by the South African Police Service and Metro Police?
You would recall that as a Department of Transport, our involvement in particular would be on matters of policy and on technical matters related to transport and transportation of people. And the others in the security class, of course, would have a responsibility to ensure that there is safety on the road. We had, like I've indicated, since 2 a.m. this morning, talking to Santaco to tell them that they must make sure that no other road users are disadvantaged or are being prevented to going about their business of the day. But also we then, upon receiving this information, approach the police to ensure that they are making the roads safer.
DG, with regards to the discussions that are currently underway, apparently at Emperor's Palace, do you have any details with regards to what is happening there?
I don't have at the moment. People are still converging to the venue. But we want to believe that we were told and assured by the Santaco leadership that they will be talking to their members to tell them that the strike is off. They have reached an agreement on certain aspects of what they were demanding from the taxi finance, which is a financial institution.
Just lastly, DG, what kind of assurance do we have that this situation will not repeat itself in the future? Is there anything that's being put in place to avoid this?
What we are doing is that we in the meeting that we will be having with Santaco and as a taxi finance, but in particular Santaco, we are going to talk to them that we have been having a good relationship with them. And if they have ever had problems, they would always come to the department. And we have resolved many other things on the table without them resorting to the streets and blocking the roads. We will still impress upon them that even if their problems are with third parties who are not government, because Santaco is our major stakeholder, we would want them to come and conscientize us and let us see if through intervention we cannot mediate if there are problems between them and other third parties. That we want to believe that it will resolve a lot of things before people resort to taking to the streets.
Do you think that the situation could have been dealt with better with regards to how authorities tackled the situation?
Not necessarily authorities, but I think it could have been dealt much, much better had Santaco come to the department and said, we are having these challenges and we are having pressure. Now our members want to go out into the streets. We would have made every effort to ensure that we sit around the table with the people that they are complaining about. We are a government of not only taxi people, but a government of transport, Department of Transport. Anything that is transport related, if it is not seamless, if there are time delays, we have to worry. And that's where we want to believe that everybody who has and who had problems, before they take to the streets, they must come to talk to us and see if we can resolve. We cannot resolve.
Well, thank you very much, DG, for your time and for sharing your views and comments with us. That was the DG of the Department of Transport, Matabata Mokanyama, just talking to us about the taxi strike that is being observed in Gauteng province.